The sarcophagus also in the Naples Museum that shows something of what went on. And I'm going to deal with it now step by step. First we start here. Here is a laurel tree which is apotropaic. That is to say, it defends the threshold against evil presences. It has a sanctifying power as a threshold tree. Beside it is an aspect of Bacchus or Dionysos, the same deity, known as Iachos, which is a cry of greeting that was uttered at a certain moment in the ceremony when the revelation, the showing forth of the new birth was rendered. He stands here by an altar with fruits of offering. And here we have the torch, which always indicates the underworld or chthonic adventure. We move then along, and here are the two great goddesses. This is Demeter, or Demeter, seated on the sacred basket with the serpent. And here is her daughter, Persephone, who is the one who dies and is resurrected. She is to be abducted and then will return. The anados and kathados of the maiden. The torch of Demeter, or Demeter, is held upward, purifying the upper regions, that of Persephone downward, purifying the lower. So this is a purification passage, and these two figures are going to be the dominant figures in this whole cult. The dual goddess, the goddess of life and the goddess of the underworld out of which new life comes. And here then is the candidate with his head covered. He is going to experience a revelation, an epiphany, a showing forth. And an epiphany is the showing forth of the mystery to a person who experiences it for the first time. Here is the guide who guided us in, pouring offerings. And this figure standing here is Bacchus Dionysos. And the figure behind him is Hecate. That is the dark, negative aspect of the goddess, often associated with witchcraft. And so here's the story. Persephone, the daughter of Demeter, was out picking flowers in the spring. And suddenly, Pluto, or Hades, appears in his chariot and rushes off with her. Now, there have been some very interesting recent researches made in the plants associated with these cults, and barley is very closely associated. There's a barley drink that is consumed by the people who are going to go through the great ceremony before attending the rites. One of the important hallucinogens is ergot, which is a parasite on barley. And it is believed now by many that the barley broth contained a bit of this ergot. There was a family that for many, many centuries had been in charge of the rites. There is a very fine study called The Way to Eleusis, published by, written by Hoffman, who is the man who invented LSD, and Gordon Wasson, and a classical scholar whose name just doesn't come to me right now. This book deals with the whole ritual of Eleusis in detail as a ceremony associated with a matching of the state of rapture of the people who have taken the drink and the theatrical performance that is rendered in the way of an epiphany, so that there's an inward readiness and an outer fulfillment that works. Socrates himself is reported to have spoken about the importance to him of the experience at Eleusis. There's something in the way of a revelation was actually experienced there. So she is carried off to the underworld. Now her mother, Demeter, just as Isis was bereaved of Osiris, so Demeter of Persephone. She goes to follow her and find her lost daughter. Now when Demeter had come to Eleusis, she sat down by a well, just as Isis sat down outside of the palace when she came to the place where her husband's body and sarcophagus were enclosed in the palace pillar. And people come out to the well, tried to comfort her. That well is still there. It's been reconstructed, as you can see, been put together again. Here she is at the well. The people come to comfort her, but she is disconsolate. Until an obscene little creature comes named Baubo and does an obscene dance. And then Demeter has to laugh, that's all. And this is a wonderful motif. The obscenity, you move out of the sphere of the developed person back into the sphere of the nature dynamics of generation and regeneration and all that into another perspective, and are released from the bondage of your grief.